Have you ever found yourself glued to the subtitles of a foreign film or show only to realize that you're actually not learning the language? You think you're immersing yourself, but it's just your native language that sticks in your mind. In this video, I'll give you 5 tips for how you can stop watching foreign films like this. Bonjour les amis, my name's Matthew. I used to work for Fluent Forever, where I was mentored by the American polyglot and best-selling author Gabriel Wyner. Nowadays, I share my own tools and techniques to help you learn languages effectively by yourself. Plus, I love watching foreign films and TV shows. At the moment, I'm focused on learning French, Spanish, Mandarin Chinese, and Filipino. So I thought, what better way to integrate these languages into my daily life by watching films and shows in these languages. It seemed perfect, fun, immersive, and hands-free. The idea was simple. I could watch movies and shows in different languages that I'm learning, while at the same time doing other things like my chores or other errands and even working out. This would let the language seep in naturally into my brain and into my daily life. I also really wanted to watch top movies and hit shows in different languages, such as Family Business in French, Machos Alpha in Spanish, 真爱找麻烦 in Mandarin Chinese, and A Family Affair in Filipino. But there was a problem, a big one. I was watching everything with English subtitles. English is my native language. And guess what? Since I was watching everything with English subtitles, I really wasn't learning anything. I realized that I was just reading English. My brain wasn't processing the language that it was supposed to be learning. Plus, my brain wasn't listening to French or Spanish, Mandarin Chinese, or Filipino at all, because I was focused a lot of the time on just reading the English subtitles.
Ha? Saan mo nakuha yan? Ito lang sasabihin ko Huwag na huwag mong gagawin ulit yan. Tulad ng pagmumura, huwag mong gawin yan. Pag ginawa mo ulit yan, iiwanan na kita. Ayos? Opo.
Now, if I didn't find a way to integrate those languages that I'm learning into my life and actually genuinely learn them, then I knew those languages would start to slip. I would lose the progress that I'd worked so hard to build. But I didn't just want to study languages, I wanted to live them, to make them a part of my everyday routine. But how could I do that if I couldn't even watch a movie or show without relying on the crutch of my native language, English? 1. Stop using subtitles in your native language. So I set myself the challenge. No more English subtitles. I wanted to enjoy these shows and films in their original language, comfortably and naturally. But I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I started with a drastic change. I turned off English subtitles altogether. And I admit, it was terrifying at first, and I felt completely lost. The characters were speaking so fast that I could barely catch a word. It was like being thrown into the deep end of a pool and not knowing how to swim. I was drowning in those foreign languages, and it wasn't fun.
¡Hostia! ¡Hostia! ¿No está climatizada?
¿Por qué, Margarita? Yo creo que estoy borrachísimo. ¿Una agüita?
Ya no aguantamos nada.
Ahora se supone que vosotros también os tiráis y nos descojonamos los 4.
Sí, ahora vamos, sí.
Pero tráeme una toalla.
And then there was the slang, the idioms, and the cultural references. I didn't understand them too, and it was so overwhelming. I wasn't enjoying the films and shows anymore. I wanted to stop because I was just struggling. I realized that watching shows and movies in foreign languages without any subtitles at all was a huge leap, and frankly, I was not ready for it. But I didn't want to go back and rely on English subtitles either. I had to find a middle ground. 2. Use same language subtitles. That's when I stumbled upon something that changed everything. Same language subtitles.
C'est un bandit, El Hakrabi. On applaudit Clémentine. Bravo, bravo, mon amour. Bravo.
I read about how using subtitles in the same language as the audio could significantly improve my listening skills and my comprehension. And it wasn't just a theory, there was actual research to back it up. There was actually a study on this in France by researchers at Université Lumière Lyon 2. They found that language learners can boost their comprehension of a text like a movie or a show when they're exposed to it in multiple ways, like reading and listening at the same time. But here was the key takeaway. They found that same language subtitles were more beneficial than using subtitles in your native language. The reason for this is because same language subtitles cause less word interference. In other words, same language subtitles are better because your brain is just focused on the target language. It's not distracted by translated subtitles in another language.
Y de hecho, lo que te quería comentar, Guillermo, es que todos desde esta mañana tienen en sus correos un informe con los datos que me estás solicitando.
Bueno, yo me tengo que ir.
But that's not all. There's also another study out of Spain where researchers showed more benefits for same language subtitles. They ran experiments of groups of English language learners who were native speakers of Spanish. They found that learners who watched English content with English subtitles significantly improved their listening skills much more than those learners who had to use Spanish subtitles or who didn't use any subtitles at all. So same language subtitles can help your comprehension, but even your listening skills in a foreign language. The research really opened my eyes to how much of a game changer that same language subtitles can be. Instead of just reading English all the time, I could follow the dialogue in the target language as the words were being spoken.
Mas walang ulit maramdaman yung saya na meron kami dati. Yung simple lang pero masaya. Walang komplikasyon.
So I started using same language subtitles and suddenly things started to click. Okay, I wasn't catching every word, but I was catching more than before. And the best part, I was enjoying watching movies and shows in different languages again. Sure, it wasn't perfect, but it was a huge improvement. 3. Adjust the learning process. Even with same language subtitles, it wasn't smooth sailing. There were some problems. Sometimes the subtitles would flash by too quickly, and this usually happened in 3 cases. 1, when a character spoke too fast. 2, when a character had a lot to say. Or 3, when many different characters were talking at the same time. I had to find ways to keep up. Slowing down the playback really helped a lot, and that's a great tip that you could try. Adjust the audio to 50%, 75%, or 90% of the regular speed.
可以看电视吗？
也好了，适时地转移伤痛的注意力，也是疗伤的一种方式。把妹这条路你才刚开始，我就不先锻炼你了。要看哪一台？一转。
When I slowed down the video and audio, it gave me a bit more time to process the dialogue and connect the written text to the audio. And when things got really tough, I would just pause the video. This would allow me to look up very difficult words and sometimes to make flashcards for those very hard phrases and words that I wanted to remember. It was a bit more work, but it made a huge difference. I realized that this approach was helping me build a stronger foundation to be able to understand the movies and shows in languages I was learning. I wasn't just passively watching anymore, I was engaging actively with the material. 4. Gradually transition to no subtitles. After some time doing this new approach, I came across some TV shows and films that didn't have same language subtitles available, or their subtitles that they did have were just of poor quality. They didn't match up to what was being said, but I still really wanted to watch these shows. So I tried now to watch these without any subtitles at all. Then something amazing happened. I found myself being able to watch a movie or a series in Filipino, and then in Spanish, then in French, and even in Mandarin Chinese, and there were no subtitles, and I was enjoying it. Sure, I didn't understand 100% of the words being said, but I could follow along with the story. It wasn't irritating anymore to hear the dialogue at rapid pace in a different language. I could laugh at the jokes, feel the emotions, and connect with the characters.
Abrazo de grupo, abrazo de grupo. Ay, ay.
It wasn't perfect, but it was progress. I realized that watching shows without subtitles at all is a great goal worth aiming for. But it is okay to use same language subtitles when you need them. 5. Focus on progress, not perfection. So overall, here is what I learned. It's not about being perfect or catching every single word in a film or series. It's finding the right balance that works for you. And for me, that meant that I stopped using translated subtitles that were in my native language, English. Instead, I would use same language subtitles as a stepping stone to full comprehension.
C'est vraiment trop beau.
It's okay to lean on same language subtitles when you need them. They're a tool to help you grow in your language learning. And eventually you might not need them at all, but don't be discouraged if you do. Originally, I had wanted to be able to understand movies and TV shows in foreign languages 100% of the time, knowing every single word in them. Now I admit I didn't get exactly what I wanted, and I still haven't reached that to this day. I still use same language subtitles most of the time. And even though I didn't get exactly what I wanted originally, I did get something better. A daily and regular habit that allows me to enjoy and learn at the same time. So what about you? How do you watch foreign films and shows? Are you still stuck with subtitles in your native language? Or have you tried same language subtitles? Let me know in the comments below.